You are forced to live, but are you living meaningfully, or do you divert yourself from everything you'd consider actually real? Is life a packaged postbox of sensations you buy to feel, rather than live to feel? Do you play games, or do you just watch game shows? Do you talk, or do you watch talk shows? Are you real, or are you just streaming reality TV? What if there were means to living reality however you found desirable in a small, controlled version of life? What if we called that dream Minecraft, and what if we called that reality a game? But unless you make an input, it really isn't one yet. A game cannot be played without a player, at least not meaningfully, nor can a player who has no self-imposed meaning play it. In today's video, I want to discuss what a game is to the player, and what it means to play a game, or for one to become his own game himself. My name is Iligja. Please sit back and relax, because this is the means to entertainment. Let's begin. Let's assume you want to make a game. Then you'll need a goal and means to achieve this goal. The best games make that goal feel meaningful beyond its inherent importance within the game's mere inferential logic, and, in other words, with an FPS game, you may feel happy that you won because you get the saccharine of supremacy over the players that you beat. A game also needs to be hard enough to maintain that pleasurable satisfaction from winning. Patience as a game is only really fun if you decide it is for its own sake, and that's why so many people consider it boresome. Yet, Minecraft is the same, and even those who dislike cards often could like Minecraft. Could and do. This may boil down to the fact that Minecraft feels like it is much more open. With the aforementioned game, the player is forced to feel satisfaction from winning, either that or feel nothing. Well, Minecraft lets one choose the sort of senses he wants to get out of the game. This connects us to those differences between a game that forces an objective and a game that doesn't. One might be more worrisome because there's no point, but the other is also hyper-focused on a point to the end that it feels less like you're the one playing it. It's the same reason mathematics feels so boring to me. Their goals and associated laws exist on a higher plane than I, and so my learning of them means nothing because I cannot affect them in any way. They simply are. Art, on the other hand, is one of those things that lets me both learn from it and likewise interpret it. So I am in it and it is in me, and we both develop from each other. And this is all to say that Minecraft isn't a game. If you missed the earlier introduction to this video, take this one now. Minecraft is not a game, at least by my own definition, because the very definition of Minecraft is one that flexes with how the player perceives it. Minecraft is a rejection of the hubristic cogito ergo sum for the more self-realizing version, sensio ergo sum. I feel, therefore I am. And I think that's beautiful. Bernard Suy, or Suites, however it's pronounced, calls a game the voluntary attempt to overcome unnecessary obstacles, which I think is fair. Again, with patience, there are hundreds of variations to play because people have wanted to make the games easier or harder, or just wanted something new. Concerning Minecraft, normally you'd say that having infinite resources and whatnot is cheating, but it isn't. That's Mojang's creative mode, so as long as you enjoy it, it's fine, and here's where I think it's good to understand that it is just the means to a game, and it's only fun if you've predetermined by what rules you want to play. Very often, people have a world specifically for survival and another for creative gameplay, maybe even another for stuff like Redstone, and each of these are valid not just as cool, unique playstyles, but also as wholly new games. They're all games that use roughly the same blocks, but that's no different from how 2 or 3 totally unique paintings all use oil-based pigments upon a similarly made canvas. How can Minecraft be fun then? Well, it's just fun as long as you have a losery attitude. That is, that you're willing to do more than merely win by means of achieving a goal, but also decide on that goal, and, more importantly, the means to that goal. YouTubers have even noticed this. Once viewers grew bored of the Minecraft Let's Play videos, they turned to making what I call gimmick videos, such as those where lava rises from the ground and they have to survive as long as possible, or say they have to play without the permission to wear armor. Even since Java 1.0, Mojang have suggested these gimmick runs. Hardcore mode is an endorsed version of the base game with extraordinary debuffs against the player. The goal of Minecraft is to beat the Ender Dragon, a guy might say, and then he'll do that, fine, but I think it's the journey that he will enjoy more. We aren't here to optimize the fun out of the game, to use the words of Soren Johnson. Imagine I want to make a game that tells players to break a bed. No one needs to break a bed, but the attitude mandates that one still does it for what is called fun. Now we make it unnecessarily difficult to achieve that end. Though not impossible, we make there be a void across from the spawn in the breakable bed's location, and you need to cross that by paying money and using your own labor to build bridges. Then, what if we made you also have a bed and an opponent who shares your goals but against you? What if someone wanted to break your bed while you were trying to break that person's? This is what people call Bed Wars, and I've been playing it a lot lately. It's not even fun to win the game for any real reason except you did, and that's good. You outsmarted and fought the enemy and won, so GG. The game would be much less fun if it just consisted of breaking an undefended bed, right? And this is because I was in the losery attitude, the willingness to have fun. And this can all happen in Minecraft too, remember. We are wanting to achieve our dreams, but what if the very moment in which we are living is the dream? Life isn't necessary either, oh viewer. Never forget that it isn't, and the fact you are alive means something to your very self, if you have the right attitude. Have you ever taken the stairs instead of a lift in real life? And not because you want to get fit, but simply because it's fun? Or maybe you've gone fishing instead of buying some pie cheese from Walmart. It feels much more like you're the one doing it when you get onto a boat and not lay the lakes, right? That's because it's the ultimate expression of yourself. It's still doing something you do not need to do because you've arbitrarily decided you want to do it. And this is the fear I have of real life's atomizing of humanity. We're all eating the same food and buying the same furniture because it costs more for the pompiers, those other producers, to make unique stuff for everyone. But by refusing to reflect our own selves in how we can dress and whatever else not, we kill what makes us individual humans. Just as how Minecraft is worthless unless you make an input, can life be worthwhile if you're not living as yourself? Humans create what they fear. A tailor who makes good clothes, for instance, will create customers who do not return since they do not need to have their clothes replaced, and likewise a customer creates by refusing to return if he wears well-made robes a tailor who will not make good clothes for his livelihood's sake. Good shopkeepers create uneconomic situations for themselves, and if they make economic situations for themselves, it is the customer who is shunned. Yet it is the customer, firstly, who makes good clothes uneconomic at all for the creator. People even create little humans. This is not merely that many people have come to detest children today, but that they have come to detest the small people. A generation is made to be hated by the elderly who were themselves, when they were more juvenile, to be hated, so they both can create a distinct culture from each other as rebellion. If one group likes X, another will invent Y and call it amiable. But these cultures are largely arbitrary, and let's get back to the topic of Minecraft. Unlike the arbitrarity of choosing how to play the game, these cultures are more massive. That is, they have a collective mind. These cultures are small cultures. Societies create small cultures for the masses without care for the individual. This is what I mean. Now Y, which was made to combat X, is called good without reevaluation, and the people are called unpatriotic for not following, especially when it becomes a nationalist issue rather than merely a generational one. Still, betraying your age is seen as noma hamartia, which, though perhaps a lesser issue, is still one to discuss. That's why Minecraft is so popular too. It lets a person live a life, even if it's a fictional one, without forcing that player to beloved Y or Z. He doesn't have to pretend to be part of this in-group that loves certain things because they are part of a meaningless collective identity, and rather can just enjoy life. If life is a game, whoa, end poem reference, and you're unhappy, why not play another game? I suppose that trickles down to asking if it's worthwhile to invest so much time in something so many consider to be a lesser reality. I'd even consider it such. I think living in a dream or game is inferior to living in real life, and if real life is so miserable that you want to play a game or do anything else akin to sipping out of Leith, is probably a sign it's time to force a change on a fundamental level. Sometimes a change in others, too. But that's where Minecraft is useful. It's useful because it's a pastime and a measure by which we can know if the base stream, not the base game, that is, the base life, is good. And the best part is that it teaches you what is good by your own standards. It teaches you what you want, not because it is governed unto you, but because it opens you to the idea that, hey, these things exist, and I should ask why they might not in real life. It even teaches you just to play by your own rules. Minecraft isn't anarchy, which is a distinction I'd like to make. You can't cheat by playing a modified version of the game. Sure, mods are super popular, but it would be cheating if your predetermined rules are broken by yourself. Minecraft, a game about building your own way however you want, is also amazing for distinguishing that you need to stick with what you want. Once you decide to use keep inventory or allow yourself chunk base or do anything like that, you generally aren't free to change it. You have to know how you want to play, and for that you have to know yourself. It teaches you to have standards and know that they are in your own feeling, sensing mind. I hope you never stop sensing and feeling. I hope you perpetually continue to learn about yourself more than the self-subjugating earth. And, as always, keep on loring, because I'll see you next time. Bye.